Hello, everybody! And boy, do I have a series for you today. Yes, that is right. I am starting a new series, and since you probably are new to this channel, you don't give a shit, but let me make you give a shit. Wait for it. Map making series about PvP. Or kit PvP in vanilla Minecraft. That is right, and you wouldn't believe where I am right now. I'm actually on my server. And any of you who are my staff or anything on my server right now, I severely apologize for changing this server and its topic every, time I log in. I can't help it. I love change. Hello, Ted. We will get to Ted in a second. Because Ted is cool. Ted is awesome. Okay, so yes, like I said, it is a map-making PvP server thingy. So how to make a kit PvP server in vanilla Minecraft without using a bunch of plugins. And the reason I say this is because Bucket, it just became 1.7, Minecraft 1.7, and that is sweet. But, Ted. But, Craft Bucket is not updated. And it probably won't be forever because I don't know what their staff does when, seriously. I mean, dude, the snapshot's been out for, forever now. Get ahead of the game. Will ya? Okay, so what are we going to start out on? Well, basically, let me actually summarize the series. I don't think this is going to be a long series, because I don't think there's a whole lot I can cover. Even though I've done so much. I've literally spent, weeks on this. But there's not so much I can cover on this, just because it's kind of a brief topic. I do think I'll do more map making stuff in the future, but like I said, you're new, you don't give a shit, so let's jump straight in to what you do give a shit about. First, let me just commit suicide, because that's pleasant. And bajam! I end up on this platform. That is going to be the first topic we cover, is setting a spawn and where to put it and such. Now, let's look at my coordinates real fast, and you'll notice something, that this is, okay. It's on 0 to 1,000. And that's actually going to be my first topic I'm going to cover. Make all the set, spawn points. I mean, not spawn points, but, teleportation places. Very memorable. I mean, this is literally 0, 1,000 is the spawn. Now, when I actually, obviously, I was not fortunate enough to have this actually be the spawn. So, I'm just going to cover this briefly. If you did not know this already, if you want to actually set the world spawn, you literally just do set world spawn. Yes. Yes, you do. And now, that's the world spawn right there. So, if I kill myself, boom, that's literally where I spawn. And that's cool. Actually, let me put it, oh, shit. Damn it. Let me actually put it right here so they don't, fall down. Just being professional. Next thing is, you'll notice the lobby, which is where I started at, which is at TP 0, 2, 0. Like I said, this is literally 0, 0. So, like I said, memorable points. And how, so since they don't spawn here, which you could make them spawn here, but generally, if it's a single-player world, so since I'm in a server, this spawn point is actually going to be pinpoint. I'm always going to spawn on this block. But if this was a single-player world, I could spawn anywhere on this pad. So when I was making this in single-player, I wouldn't always spawn here. I would spawn somewhere on this pad. That's why the pad's so big. Now, how do we get from here to the lobby? That's really easy to explain. Let's first cover this up. This is just a light detector to show if anyone's actually on the pad or not. That was just helpful when I was first setting this up. What you do is you have a hopper clock right here. And you see I have a piece of carpet in there. Let's actually get that out so we don't get teleported. And we have a command block that says TP all people. That's what @A means. In a range of 15 blocks to the spawn coordinates. So, if you know anything about command blocks, you know how to do this. So, let's hurry this up. Now, if I stick that right there, instantly, teleport here. And let's go back. And now you'll notice every time I spawn, I'm going to spawn on this platform, and it's going to teleport me. Because the hopper clock continuously like hits that command block, and if I'm in range, that works. Okay, what else are we going to note? Because like today, I'm going to be talking about the lobby, because this is very important. This is very important, and I'm not going to be talking about design yet because that's just, I don't know. It's not a huge topic either. Now you'll notice I have weakness, and you also notice something else is blinking down here, and that's saturation, and that's actually really important to have. And I'll show you how we also get that in a second. The weakness. Let's start out with the weakness is important because obviously, you need a plugin to stop people from breaking blocks, unless if you want to have mining fatigue level 5, which is just annoying. But weakness, it means that if you have your bare fist and you punch someone, like let's take Ted for example. Where's Ted? I saw Ted. I can't actually hurt Ted, and that's because of my weakness level 5. And you notice it also has 6 seconds, but we'll get into that in a second why I made it exactly 6 seconds. So you can also do the option where you can have like everyone in the lobby be on the same team and have them not be able to hurt each other with like there's like a setting for teams where like teams can't hurt each other, people on the same team. But personally, I don't like that for a couple reasons. First off, it adds a bunch of more command blocks, and that's just annoying. And the more command blocks there are, the more ways that, like, I don't like that idea because it could get someone on, like, the map that can't hurt someone or be hurt, and that's just bad. Because, like, I'm pretty sure it would work. But also what this does is, if you don't all have to be on the same team, you can also have people just in vanilla on teams with different colored names. Now, obviously, as you see right here, my name is not colored. That's just, I mean, I didn't do that, but I like the idea of having people with different colored names. Now, to that weakness, and also, I didn't show you, but once you go to the lobby, you actually can't have any items. So if I put something in my inventory, it would be instantly cleared. And it's because of this thing. Once again, yes, a hopper clock. I love these things. They're like amazing because they never break. Other types of clocks can break, and since they're by the spawn right here, they are always going to be loaded no matter where I am on the map. So first one clears everyone at the spawn point. These first 3 digits, if you don't know, are the location, like of where you want to start, like the test for kind of thing, of who you're going to clear. And the 50 is the radius. So basically, a radius of 50 blocks from the center of the lobby clears everyone there. So basically, if you're in the lobby, you can't have stuff. And by the way, if you want to actually get over this, like while you're building, just put E at the end of this, and it's not going to work. So, just a little tip. A little tip. And the one right here is effect at all of the same like spawn radius and location of 1875. Now what 18 is, it's the ID for weakness. 7 is the duration. So even though it's 7 seconds, it looks like 6 seconds when you're in the lobby. And so you have to take that into consideration. That's 1 second less. And 5 is the level. And notice that if it's 5 is the highest it can be, and it's no longer going to show what level it is once it hits 5, because that's the highest any effect can go up to as of right now that you can just naturally give someone from a command block. What am I going to cover now? I'll be right back when I remember. Okay, actually, here's another thing that I wanted to mention, is that especially in a PvP game, here's like a cool little thing, is this thing right here. This basically makes it so people can't battle log. If you don't know what battle logging is when you log out so no one can kill you, and then like when they finally give up trying to kill you because you like left the server like waiting around for you to come back, you log back in, and then you go kill people who didn't expect you to log back in. This prevents this. And what this does is, this is a cool feature of 1.7. So let me show you this. And this does it by doing this scoreboard. Scoreboard objectives add leave, stat leave, game. stat.leave game. And what this basically makes, it makes an objective called leave. So it adds an objective called leave under the description of stat.leave game. And stat.leave game basically means that the scoreboard is controlled by how many times you leave the game. So right now, my scoreboard for that is 0. And it's testing, in this command block right here is testing for someone who has a leave score of 1. And if it does, it teleports them to the spawn. So if you leave the game, so if I was to leave the game right now, my score would go up to 1. And when I relog the server, that means it would teleport me back to the spawn. That way, and it clears all your stuff. It clears any kill streaks you have. That way, you can't just log out and log back in as if nothing happened. Also, the way this server works is like the map is constantly changing. So everyone's always on the same map, but the map changes and teleports everyone to the new map. So if someone logs back in and they're on the old map and no one's there, like on a map no one's on, then they're just kind of stuck there unless if they kill themselves, and that's just kind of unprofessional. Now, what this does is, obviously, if, like, I log back in, this will just constantly keep teleporting me to spawn because my score is still 1. So what this does is, if it finds somebody who has a score of, like, 1, they've left the game, it gives them a score of 0. So it sets their score back to 0. That way they don't just get constantly teleported, and they can resume the game from spawn. So basically, it teleports them back to spawn and resets their leave a score to 0. So if I disconnect from my server and I go back on, boom, you'll notice I'm back right at spawn. So that's just kind of cool. Back to the original footage. Oh yes, nonchalant jump cut. Bam. Okay. Oh yes, I am the one and only builder for this server though. I don't mean to brag, but I'm just that awesome. Okay, what am I going to be talking about next? Bam. I'm going to be talking about the character select, because I'm not going to go into how to design balance characters, because mostly, once again, not a huge topic. This is supposed to be a short, like, kind of intro to the series, and also, like, that's all up to you. But I'm going to show you how to set up this room, and this room is fucking balls. Seriously, it's fucking balls, like, dude, like, seriously. First off, how this works is, instead of having a pressure plate, instead of having a button, literally, you just walk into the character you want. Bam. You're in the arena. It's sick. I love it. You know it. Now let's kill myself. I've lived a hard life. And see how, like, I got my stuff cleared? It's not because it was dropped on the ground after I died. It's because when I went to the lobby, it was cleared. Oh, and another, I can't show you because it will clear, but another thing is, if you actually have a sword with the weakness, you can actually damage people, so try to have it so people only have fists, because if they actually have weapons, they can damage each other, even with the weakness. Okay, so, first off, you're going to think that this is like a pressure plate. Well, actually, no, it's not, and if you're smart at all, I'm sorry, all the dumb people who didn't get it, you probably figured out how this worked. This is, once again, hopper clocks. I love you so much. I love you, hopper clocks. And a teleportation command block. Now, once again, I'm using the at all range 1. Well, this time the range is 1, meaning that if you're standing directly on the carpet, it's going to teleport you to this location. And remember what I said about having really good numbers? You'll notice, with the exception of a couple of these are mostly increments of 5. Because I put, see, like 10, 5, 15, and then the other one's going to be 20. And the reason I did that is because they're, like, really easy. And the teleportation pads are near the spawn. And I'll show you the spawn. Well, you already saw it, but those, like, little capsule things that you saw at the spawn, those are where it teleports you to. And also, you'll notice another really cool thing about this is it said it teleported everyone on this pad, not just one person. Which means that if 5 people actually walked onto this pad at once, the way the system works, like the entire map actually works, is everyone's going to be teleported into the capsule at once. All of them are going to be given the exact same stuff at once. All of them are going to be sent to the same map at once. And it just works flawlessly. Like, I really enjoyed this because it doesn't, like, only make one person at a time. And, like, it doesn't have the bug of, like, if there's someone on a pressure plate, then, you can sometimes have, like, someone on the pressure plate and no one's getting teleported because it's just pressure plates are a mess. Buttons can teleport the wrong person. This is just the best solution, and it's like, it works amazingly. I step on this, instantly teleported to the map. Okay. Now that I have this covered. Actually, I think this episode is nearing an end. So let's finish this up real fast. With the last thing. See, I just love that. That's just so perfect. I just love it. It's so high. This video is so goddamn unprofessional. I don't give a fuck. You don't have to give a fuck. I have no subscribers. I'm not afraid of losing any of you guys. So, haha. Love me, please. Just click the subscribe button. I want to be acknowledged. Not really. I don't give a fuck. Okay, Oh, yes. I was supposed to be doing something. Instructions. So this is the instruction room. And you can actually make it. Generally, when people spawn in this world, what I found is that they're actually looking in this direction. But if you actually, I highly suggest that if you can control it, make it so people spawn looking in the direction of the instructions room. Because although, like, you maybe, like, in the future want them looking at the class select room, when you first want them starting the game, you don't want them just running in the first direction they see. And then they're going to skip the instructions. Oh, you also notice that map change thing in the corner? Yeah, we'll get to that in a later episode. Okay, so for instructions, I don't have a lot to say here. Just tell them. Here I just talk about the class selection, the battlefields, the staff. Oh, something that's really, really important. Talk about the staff in the updates. Like, you're going to, like, want to talk about the other stuff, too. Like the battlefields and the classes and maybe unique things about your map. But make sure they know about the staff in the updates. For example, make sure they know not to be asking for staff positions. Although people are probably going to do it anyways if history has taught me anything on my server. But just put it up there so people know. As for updates, this is also hugely important. If you're finished on a section and you're working on a different part of the map, which I've actually done for like a lot of different servers I've had in the past, put that up there. That way people know what to be looking or to expecting. If you also like aren't updating anything in the future, maybe even give them a date on when to come back. Just like give them updates and reasons to come back to the server. Like, I know this is a more like PvP map creating tutorial, but it's also important that if you're on a server that people come back. Because obviously, if you want a good PvP server, you need a lot of people coming on, coming back, and asking for updates. And one other thing I wanted to mention: donations. I don't ask for donations ever. It's just like something morally I don't do on a small server like this. I mean, this server literally has 4 slots on it. I'm trying to get it to 8, so obviously I'm not gonna be asking for donations. And I just think that's also important to put up. If you want donations or something, obviously put up a sign for that. Boop. Haha. Beat it. So see you next time, guys, for the next episode. Next episode, we're going to be covering classes and what the class select system and what works under there. I'm thinking that this is going to be a 4-part series. Maybe even more in the future. What I'm thinking is actually might do some creating of me actually building some of the maps that are in this game and like showcasing some of the cool features and designs about them and maybe making some in the future on camera. But as for just this series alone, I think I only want 4 episodes. So see you next episode as we talk about the class select system and all the redstone behind that. Bye-bye!